Welcome to the Brain Alpha. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through the overwhelming noise of online advice. We want to reveal the ordinary, honestly kind of boring, but rigorously applied routines that actually build extraordinary success. You know, whenever we hear about self-made billionaires or massive success stories, there is always one common denominator. They absolutely do not rely on motivation. No way! They rely on unbreakable habits. Weak players mock routines, but the guys at the very top, they swear by them. So today we're looking at 3 highly specific habits drawn from our sources that literally separate the highest earners from, well, everybody else.
We're breaking down the journey of Iman Gadzhi. This is a guy who started working at just 15 to support his mom, scaled an agency to become a millionaire by 18, and reached a $70 million empire at just 24. Okay, $70 million. Achieving a net worth like that in your early 20s seems almost incomprehensible, right? It puts him in the top 0.01% of success. But the core takeaway from his journey is that this didn't just happen by accident, and it definitely wasn't purely because of some untouchable raw natural talent.
Actually, successful people firmly believe it isn't raw genius getting them to the top. It's the immense power of habit acting as a mental autopilot. Think about it. A habit essentially rewires your brain's neural pathways. Once a habit is fully locked in, doing the hard, tedious work stops feeling so agonizing and actually starts feeling, well, kind of enjoyable. It becomes totally automatic. Now, the problem most of us face isn't that we don't know habits are important. It's that we're drowning in way too much information, making it nearly impossible to figure out exactly which habits actually move the needle. So let's dive into the exact 3 habits he used to scale to that top 0.01%. We've got habit 1, airplane mode, habit 2, wealth trains, and habit 3, deep journaling.
Okay, starting things off with habit 1, airplane mode, reclaiming your morning focus.
You see, the very first barrier to success is usually a lack of energy or a lack of knowledge, and both of those issues are completely solved by reclaiming your ability to perform deep, unbroken work. In today's hyper-connected world, if you could just sit down and focus intensely for even 30 minutes to an hour, bam, you automatically put yourself in the top 5% of performers. Seriously, ask yourself honestly right now, can you survive a single morning without your phone? Most people truthfully cannot, and that is exactly why they struggle to gain momentum. If you can't get through the first few hours of your day without checking notifications, messages, or mindlessly scrolling social media, your attention is actively being stolen from you before you've even had a chance to build anything of value.
What's incredibly interesting from our sources is this concept of brain HP, or brain hit points. Just picture your daily mental energy and concentration like a video game health bar that slowly depletes. Grabbing your phone is not a break. It actively drains your limited daily brain HP on stuff that is absolutely not going to change your life. Look, spending 2 hours casually scrolling means you just blew a massive chunk of your daily concentration on cheap dopamine, instead of investing it into the knowledge or systems required to, make you a millionaire.
So what's the fix? Here is the exact protocol. For his first 3 years in business, Iman applied this exact rule every single morning. It proves that removing the phone entirely forces the brain out of boredom and into productive action. You don't just put the phone face down on your desk. Nope, you turn that thing to airplane mode and you put it in a completely separate room behind a closed door. Seriously, if you're sitting in an empty room with nothing but your work, you will eventually get so intensely bored that you'll just start working. It's a brilliant little hack to trick your brain into high-level productivity.
Moving right along to habit 2, wealth trains, a paradigm shift in earning. Listen, this shift requires completely rewiring how you view making money. You could work 80 hours a week, sacrifice all your weekends, and do every little thing perfectly. But if you're on the wrong track, you are never going to arrive at extraordinary wealth. You have to realize that you might literally be on the wrong train entirely. The hourly wage train fundamentally caps your income to the exact number of hours you physically exist and work. The leverage train, on the other hand, that's the only one that actually arrives at the destination of immense wealth.
To get a ticket for that wealth train, you must adopt the habit of applying leverage. You've got to transition from doing everything yourself to building a system that operates simultaneously without you. Leverage basically means doubling, tripling, or even 100xing your output, but without increasing your own physical labor. We're talking about outsourcing tasks, hiring a team, or creating digital products that are selling while you're fast asleep. If your income relies 100% on your own 2 hands, your growth is totally hard-capped.
There's this brilliant example from our sources that perfectly illustrates the mindset of a, quote-unquote, lazy part-time leader. This person delegated tasks to his team,
So the operations just kept progressing while he tackled completely separate, higher-level work in the background. That is the ultimate goal: simultaneous progress. You want a situation where 10, 20, or even 100 people, or automated systems, are pushing the project forward while you focus your specific energy on the high-level strategy. You just have to let go of that ego that says, oh, I have to do everything myself because I'm the only one who can do it right.
Now let's jump into our final one, Habit 3, Deep Journaling, Engineering the Self. If you really want to achieve massive results, you have to intimately understand the machine that's actually doing all the work. And hey, that machine is you. Now, deep journaling isn't just listing the chronological facts of your day like a typical diary. It's about deeply analyzing your emotional reactions and digging into exactly why they happened. A standard diary says, I woke up at 7, went to work, came home at 8. Okay, that has almost zero value. Deep journaling asks, how did I feel when that massive setback happened today? Why did it trigger me? Has this happened before? What is the core solution? You are essentially debugging your own brain.
And here's a perfect example of just how incredibly powerful this is. Our source notes how deep journaling revealed that anger from internet trolls actually boosted their gym and work performance. It taught them exactly how to safely harness that specific emotion. By tracking their emotions on paper, they realized that feelings of anger, which, let's be honest, could easily ruin most people's day, actually produced a massive spike in energy for them. Once they identified that trigger, they safely channeled that raw anger directly into breaking personal records at the gym and rapidly clearing out heavy workloads. They effectively weaponized an emotion that would normally destroy productivity. How cool is that?
Deep journaling is also exactly how you establish your true trajectory. Think about it. What is your exact vision, timeline, and required income? You have got to articulate these answers clearly on paper. Why? Because the subconscious brain only reacts to specific, deeply ingrained targets. It absolutely ignores vague desires. Most people just say, oh, I want to be rich. Well, the brain doesn't know what to do with that. You need to write down, I want this exact lifestyle, making this exact amount of money per month by this specific date, feeling this exact way. When that level of extreme detail is seared into your subconscious, your daily micro-decisions will automatically start aligning with that goal.
Bringing it all together, let's look at the game of success, extending your daily actions. So, achieving massive financial goals might feel impossibly distant right now. I get it. When you hear about someone making $70 million at 24, it sounds like an entirely different universe. It's so easy to look at that massive gap and feel entirely paralyzed. But remember this one fundamental truth: big goals are simply the extension of your current daily actions. If you can implement these 3 habits and treat the whole process like a fun, enjoyable game, you are already on the right path. Putting your phone in another room, finding smart ways to leverage your time, and writing down your internal emotional triggers. Look, none of these require $1 million to start. They only require discipline. Massive success is literally just these tiny daily disciplines compounding over time. So, I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital question to think about. What habit will you put on autopilot tomorrow morning? Don't wait for next year. Don't even wait for next week. Pick just one of these 3 habits and execute it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build a hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.